Okay, so cross the legs, middle of the shins, sit tall. And close the eyes. Ascend the front sternum bone as you pull the shoulders down the back. Evenly distribute the weight on the right and the left buttock and the right and the left sitting bone. You may need to either adjust by pressing one sitting bone down because it's light, or you may need to make the kind of grossest manual adjustment of pulling the flesh of the buttock back and out. Keep the feet slightly active so the outer edges of the feet press into the floor. The inner ankle elongates. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart in the prayer position. We'll start with just a single sound of Om together. Take a deep breath in. Om. Bow the head and release the hands. When the head bows forward, it takes a special attention to make sure that the chest continues to lift. The shoulders continue to pull down the back, and that the top collarbones spread from the sternum bone out to the shoulder joint. Spread the very top chest by pulling the shoulders back. And then inhale to lift the head, and exhale to open the eyes. You can extend the legs forward and come up to standing. So Chandler, you're coming across right now as just a blue screen. I don't know if you can still hear me, and if you can't, oh, there we go. Okay, better now. So again, I'm going to say that today we're going to be doing a modified level 2 sequence. The level 2 sequence 1 will do a portion of these poses. We could get through all of them, but I imagine I'll probably teach a similar sequence, being more gung-ho about making sure that we get through all of them on Wednesday morning, the same exact sequence. But for today, we'll see how many we can get through. We're going to make sure that we get in our headstand and our shoulder stand. I'll go over some alternatives for that again. If you haven't yet watched, I guess this would be like if you're watching this class later and you haven't yet watched the Prepare for Headstand and Shoulder Stand Inversion tutorial class, take a look at that. That's on the playlist. So anyway, we'll start going. Stand with your feet hips width apart. Second toes parallel to each other for Tadasana. And from Tadasana, we're going to move into Urdhva Hastasana, so mountain pose going into upward arms. Extend the arms straight. Straighten the knees by pulling up on the patellas, and bring your weight back into your heels by actually moving the whole mass of the leg and the whole mass of the body back in space, so that you feel that your heels are bearing most of your weight, but your toes continue to press down and forward. Turn the feet in, press weight down into the inner heel, press weight down into the big toe, the inner big toe ball mound of the foot. And extend up through the sternum bone. Extend the shoulders down towards the pinky finger side of the hand. Now keep your elbows straight as you turn your upper arms from the inner upper arm, turn out toward the outer upper arm so that your biceps turn out toward the side walls, your triceps roll in toward the side of the body, and that rotation shouldn't just be in the bicep area, it should actually originate, and it has to originate from deep in the armpit. So see if you can seek this rotation, not just in the elbow joint territory of the arm, but where the upper arm bone originates in its connection to the shoulder joint, turn more from there. And notice that as you turn there, the chest spreads and broadens, and the shoulders have to pull back and down. They have to move, the shoulders have to retract. Extend the fingers toward the floor, keep the inner upper arms turning out. As you bring your arms forward, the palms face each other. Once again, go back to that same place, that inner upper arm near the shoulder joint, like now near where the pectoral muscle meets in here, this front crease of the chest, turn that crease and that bicep, that origin up, or really, yeah, the origin there of that bicep area, turn that from the inside out on both arms. That turning, elbows locked as you slowly extend your arms overhead. Keep the inner upper arms turning out the entire time. Weight back in the heels, kneecaps lifting, extend up through the sides of the body with the arms continuing to turn from the inner upper arm, turn from the inner upper arm and inner, or the inner front shoulder and inner upper arm, turn out. Extend the shoulder blades, or press the shoulder blades forward toward the lungs and extend up from the sides of the body through the hands. Now bring the fingertips together in front of the chest, bend the knees, and jump the feet 3.5 to 4 feet, or 4.5 to 5 feet apart. We're starting with a series of poses, all kind of strung together. So for camera's sake, so you can see me, I'm going to shift my feet a little bit over, and we're going to turn our feet to the right. So turn the left toes in, turn the right foot out 90 degrees. Extend the arms. We're going to be doing extended triangle, extended side angle, and Ardha Chandrasana all at once. We'll take time in each pose though. So straighten the legs by pulling up on the kneecaps, turn the thighs out and press the tailbone forward. Now take the outer crease of your right hip, this back right hip, and press that back right hip forward toward the wall that you are facing. You may start to feel a stretch along the inner right leg. Take that outer buttock forward so that the outer buttock doesn't poke back, that it moves forward under the body. Keep that outer right buttock moving forward as you extend over the right leg. Take the right hand down to the ankle or the shin. Extend the left arm up. Now strongly press back into your left heel. Stamp that left heel down into the ground. We're going to transition now to extended side angle, Utthita Parsva Konasana. You're going to start by taking your left hand to your hip, press your elbow and your left shoulder back to take the shoulder and the chest back and turn the chest up. Now bend the right knee, sit the right outer hip down towards the floor. That outer hip continues to move forward, but also now it extends downward. And you're going to take that right hand, and that's going to go next to the foot. Turn the chest up and extend the left arm alongside the body, and then take the left arm overhead. You can, of course, use a brick here. And then release the left arm, place it back on your hip, bend your left knee, step forward with the left foot for Ardha Chandrasana, step the right hand forward 12 to 16 inches in front of the right foot, pinky toe, place the thumb on the pinky toe side of the foot, and then step in a little bit more. Before extending the right leg or the left leg up, once again, take the outer crease of that right hip forward. So that outer crease of the hip pulling forward, press the knee back, crease of the hip forward as you extend and lift the left leg. Once you're up in Ardha Chandrasana, if balance troubles you here, you could take your hand to a brick, or you can be taking hold of a chair. Extend the right or the left leg up even more, turn the chest up, and then conclude the pose by extending the left arm over up toward the ceiling. Keep moving that outer crease of the right hip forward. Then to come out of this pose, you'll bend your right knee, keep extending through your left heel as you extend back. Place the foot, come back to extended triangle pose. Extend the left arm up, hold the top arm, inhale to come up, and then turn the feet parallel to each other. So I'm going to shuffle over for the camera's sake to the other side of the mat and turn your feet to the left. Extend the arms. Straighten the legs by pulling up on both patellas and take the outer crease of the left hip forward. And through all three of these poses, triangle, side angle, and half moon, that outer crease of the hip should continue to move forward. And it would be good to challenge your attention and your concentration to stay in that outer right crease or outer left crease hip and keep it moving forward toward the wall that you're currently facing the whole time. Turn the thighs out, crease of the hip forward as you extend over the left leg. Take the left hand down to the shin or the ankle, extend the right arm up. And the whole time, as we go through these different poses, as we refine different parts of the poses, some portion of your intelligence has to stay in that crease of the left hip. Keep that moving forward. For the transition to side angle, press down into the right heel. Take the right hand to the hip. Keep pressing the right heel strongly. Take the left hand away from the shin, place it next to the foot, bend the left knee, crease of the hip forward, and also mass of the buttock down. Keep pressing that left knee back toward the left arm, crease of the left hip forward. Now press your elbow and your shoulder back to turn the chest up. And complete the pose by extending the arm alongside the ear and turning the chest and the head up. For half moon, now take the hand back to the hip, step in with the rear foot, keep this left knee well bent, take the left hand forward 12 to 16 inches in front of the foot, and straighten the back leg. Keep pressing that crease of the hip. Keep taking that left crease of the hip forward. Knee presses back. Straighten the right leg and lift the right leg. The whole time in the pose, attention goes on the crease of the left hip, pressing forward. You complete the pose for today by extending the right arm up and turning the chest up. You could, of course, have a hand on a brick or a chair here. You take the back to the wall if balance troubles you. Then to release, take the hand to the hip, Bend the left knee. Keep extending through the right heel as you take the right leg back. Extend the triangle pose to the left. Extend the right arm up. Press the right heel. Inhale to come up. Turn the feet and jump the feet back together, back to Tadasana. So if balance troubles you in Ardha Chandrasana, generally a block is not really going to help much. The block is helpful for if the hamstrings are tight. So if the hamstring is so tight that that's making you feel wobbly, then the block is helpful. But if it's just an issue of balance, generally the balance is corrected through the crease of the hip actions or by keeping the raising leg absolutely straight. So we're going to go through this poses one more time. Jump the feet wide or step the feet wide. Turn the feet to the right. Crease of the right hip, pull it forward, turn the right thigh from the inside out. Extend the arms and extend over the right leg. Take the right hand down to the ankle, extend the left arm up. Straighten the knees more by pulling up on the patellas more. Not that you're throwing your knee joints back, but you're pulling up on the thighs. Turn both of your thighs from the inside out. Take the outer right crease of the hip forward. And strongly press that left outer heel down. Now take your right hand, or your left hand rather, to your hip. Take your right hand next to your right foot. Keep the right side body extending as you bend the right knee. Bend the right knee. Now press the left elbow back, turn the chest up. In this pose, your back leg must stay straight so that you can keep pressing weight into the back heel. Turn the chest up and then extend the arm alongside the body. Extend the arm overhead. Turn the chest up, look up, out. Look up and out over your left tricep. Don't look with your neck, look with your chest. If the chest turns, the eyes will follow. And then take the hand to the hip once again, the left hand to the hip. Hop in with the left foot. Take the right hand forward. Now pause here. Make the left leg absolutely straight. Press the right crease of the hip forward. Press the right knee back. If you're using a brick, that's fine. If you're using a chair for the right arm, that's fine too. But regardless of your support, keep the back leg straight. Don't let that back leg waver or bend as you lift it. Crease of the right hip forward the whole time. Extend the left arm up. Raise the left foot up. If you're using a chair or a brick, there is a limitation to how far the left leg should raise, because it should go, if you can see, it should always go just in a straight line with the body, not higher than that. So if you're on the chair and your torso is up higher, then the leg doesn't have to raise as high, if that makes sense. Turn the chest up, lift the left leg up even more, and then bend the right knee, reach way back with the left foot, come down, back to triangle, press the rear heel, pull the arm, inhale to come up. And then turn the feet. And turn the feet to the left. Once the feet turn to the left, lift the chest. Press down into that right outer heel. Turn both of your thighs from the inside out. Keep turning the thighs. Now keep turning the thighs while taking the crease of the left hip forward. And you should feel that that crease of the hip going forward, there's a contraction in the middle part of the glute that runs from the middle of the sacrum to the outer hip, or the femur bone. You can feel the femur bone on the outer left leg, and that band on the outer hip, you should feel that becomes contracted, works. Keep that as you extend over the left leg. Press the right heel, turn the chest up, take the right hand to the hip, take the left hand outside the foot, and bend the knee. Extended side angle pose. Now, when you bend that knee, sit the outer crease of the left hip down and forward. It's like you have a little weight pulling the buttock straight down, and you're actively pressing that outer buttock forward. Turn the chest up, extend the right arm alongside the body, and extend that arm overhead. Turn the chest up, look out over the right tricep. And then take the hand to the hip, bend the right knee, hop the right foot in. Take the left hand 12 to 16 inches in front of the foot. Pause here with the right foot still on the ground. Press the left knee back, left hip forward. Absolutely strong, straight in the right leg. Keep that leg strong, straight, unwavering as you raise the right leg up. Pull up on that left patella. Once the leg is straight, pull up on the patella and turn the chest up. Lift the right leg a little bit more so that it's in line with the body. Don't overdo it if you're using a chair. And then extend the right arm up. Then bend the left knee, reach way back with the right foot, come back to extended triangle, turn the chest up. And extend the right arm up, pull up on the right arm, inhale to come up, turn the chest, and walk the feet back together. Once you're up, back in Tadasana, have the feet hips distance apart. Pull up on the patellas. We're going to step the feet wide for Vimanasana, the airplane pose. Step the feet wide out to the sides. Turn the feet to the right. So turn your left toes in 30 degrees first. Turn the right foot out 90 degrees. Then for this pose, the left heel will be off the ground. The right and left instep are parallel to each other with that wide distance between the feet. So pick the left heel up, turn the hips and the chest to face the right leg. So your right toes are pointing toward a wall. Get your chest and your hips parallel, same distance from that wall. Right and the left hip, right and left side of the chest, and then straighten the left leg. Turn the outer left hip forward more and extend your arms out to the sides. Now take the tailbone forward and straighten the left leg even more. As you press the tailbone forward, the left leg wants to bend. Don't allow it to bend. Keep that leg strong. Tailbone forward. Lift up through from the abdomen to the chest and bend the right knee. Bend the right knee. Take the outer and underneath of the right buttock down. Bend that knee even, the right knee even more. Straighten the left knee, take the tailbone forward, lift the chest. Inhale to come up. Take the hands to the hips. Turn the feet back to the front, parallel to each other. Turn the feet to the left. Right toes in, left foot out 90. Then pick the right heel up. Pivot on the toes and the ball mound of the foot to turn the foot forward. Take a moment here to square the hips and the chest to the wall that your left toes are facing. Now straighten the right knee. Keep that knee straight. The heel can be several inches from the ground. That heel coming down to the ground is not something you need to concern yourself with. Turn the outer crease of the right hip forward. Lift the chest. Keep that right knee straight. Take the tailbone forward. Press back into that right heel, knees straight, tailbone forward. Extend the arms out to the sides. Bend the knee. Drive the left knee forward as you sit the outer crease of the left hip and the underbutt of the left buttock, that base of the buttock, sit that down toward the floor. Keep the left knee straight, tailbone pressing forward, or right knee straight rather, tailbone pressing forward toward the back knee. Lift the chest. Inhale, come up. Straighten the right knee, or the left knee rather. Turn the feet parallel. Now we're going to move on to the next pose, keeping the feet wide. We're going to move on to revolved triangle. So you're going to turn your feet to the left or to the right. For revolved triangle, you have to make sure that your left foot turns in so that your toes are turned in 45 degrees. It's very challenging to actually get the hips square if that foot doesn't turn in enough. So turn the toes in. Your heel is staying down, so it's not the same foot as the last pose, but you can almost pick that heel up and press the heel back down to the ground, and that'll give you a sense of how far your foot has to be turned in. So now with the foot turned in a lot, with your hands on your hips, turn your hips and your chest toward the wall in front of you, the wall that your right toes are pointing forward. Extend your arms out to the sides. Turn the left thigh in. Extend over the right leg. Take the left hand down to hold onto the right ankle and extend the right arm straight up. The tendency is that the hips will sway out of the pose to the right. Pull the outer crease of the right hip back in the direction of the left heel. Press back into the left heel, broaden the back of the left thigh, turn the left thigh in as you pull the right hip back. Extend the right arm up, turn the chest up toward the right arm. Both knees straight, both patellas pulling up. To come out, inhale, extend the left arm up, turn the hips and chest, and then rest the hands on the hips for a moment, turn the feet to the left. One of the most important things, again, in this pose is that you make sure that your back foot turns in 45 degrees. Once you have that, you can then turn the hips and the chest. We don't really have a chance to get the hips square to the wall in front of us without that back foot turning in enough. And then if it turns in too much, it's very difficult to keep the heel down. So with the heel down, with the foot turned in, turn the hips and the chest forward, lift the chest, extend the arms out to the sides. And now before going down into the pose, turn the right thigh from the outside, turn it in, broaden out the back of the right leg, lift the chest as you extend over the left leg. Take the right hand to the left ankle and extend the left arm up. Keep the knees straight, and now take that left hip and pull the left hip toward the right heel. Press the right heel down, turn the right thigh in, broaden out the back of the right leg as you pull the left hip in that same direction as the right heel. Turn the chest up, extend the left arm up, and then to release, inhale, swing the right arm up, turn the feet parallel to each other, bend the knees, walk or jump the feet back to Tadasana. So that concludes that last little 2 series of postures, Vimanasana, the airplane pose, and Parivrtta Trikonasana, revolved triangle. We're moving on to a revolved side angle, Parivrtta Parsvakonasana. So this pose starts kind of in airplane pose, if you will, Vimanasana. So you're going to step your feet wide. Now turn your feet to the right, turn the left toes in, right foot goes out 90 degrees. And just like Vimanasana, pick your right heel or your left heel up and turn your foot forward so that your 2 insteps are parallel to each other with this wide distance between the 2 feet. Now lift the chest. The lower body does Vimanasana. So bend the right knee. Keep lifting the left front thigh away from the floor. And now bend up your left elbow out to the side, lift the chest, and you're going to turn around here. I'm going to explain it first. You should do it faster than I can explain it, but listen first. You'll turn around the right leg, and you'll hook the left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. So inhale, lift, exhale, turn, and hook the elbow. Just keep your right hand on your hip for now and make sure that that left knee stays straight. And then see, can you get your elbow and your upper arm over your right leg even more? Can you get the back shoulder close to hooking that back shoulder around your right leg? So you're minimizing the empty space between your left armpit and your right knee. Turn the chest up, press the right elbow back to take the shoulder back. Extend the right arm, place the hand on the floor. If you can get the elbow straight, place the hand on the floor or use a brick. And extend the right arm overhead. To come out, take the right hand back to the hip, swing the left arm up, inhale to release, take the hands to the hips, and turn the feet to the other side. Turn the left toes in, or the right toes in, left foot out 90, and then pick your right heel up, turn your hips and your chest. Now from here, straighten the knees, particularly the right knee. That right knee's got to stay straight through the whole pose. So press the right front thigh away from the ground and bend the left knee. Keep that right front thigh ascending away from the ground. Lift the chest. And you can take here, you can keep your left hand on your hip, but take your right arm out to the side like Vimanasana. Bend up the right elbow so your fingers go up toward the ceiling. Lift the chest. And remember that you're going to revolve around the left leg. So inhale as you exhale, turn and revolve. Hook the right arm around the left leg. Keep your left hand on your hip for now. And now work to get your right arm and your right back armpit more around the left leg. Push, you can use your left hand to help here. You can be pushing down on the left thigh and hooking that right arm more. Then take the right arm down to the ground. Extend the left arm up. And then to release, take the left hand back to the hip. Bend up the right elbow. Inhale, swing the right arm up. Take the hands to the hips, and then walk the feet back together. Next pose is Uttanasana. Take 2 bricks. We're going to start off in Ardha Uttanasana first. So with 2 bricks, place 2 bricks in your hands. Have your feet hips width apart. Second toes. You're holding your bricks, lift your chest. You're going to place these bricks at the tallest setting on the ground. Keep the chest lifted, hinge at the hips, extend forward. Place the hands on the bricks, bricks on the ground. Press into your inner heels, press into your big toes, turn the bricks down to center. Now here you want to make sure that your bricks are slightly wider apart than your hands. Just slightly. Have the top hand pressing on to the brick. And if you're in the I Always Bend My Knees club, you're going to have to cancel your membership to that. And even if that means you come up to the next brick setting, or to the higher brick setting, get the knees to straighten. Pull up on the patellas, press the back of the knee and the back of the thigh back and out. Press the shin bones forward without bending the knees. And you have to go down as far as you can while honestly keeping the back flat and honestly keeping the knees straight. And just assume that your back has rounded. So press the back ribs forward, press the chest through the arms. And then go deeper into the pose, either go down to the next lowest brick setting or take your hands to the ground. And then to complete the pose, walk the hands on the bricks or just the hands backward. So you can take the bricks backward or take the hands. Keep extending the chest forward toward the floor that's a few inches in front of your feet. So you looked between your feet and then I'll draw a line right down the middle of your mat, about 6 inches in front of your big toes. Extend your chest in that direction over your legs as you release the head forward. Drop the crown of the head down toward the ground, but keep the shoulders lifting away from the ears. Knees straight, press the thighs back, shin bones forward. And then to release, take the hands to the hips, point the elbows up, inhale to come up. And step the feet wide now. For Sarata Padottanasana, forward extension with feet spread to the max. Align the outer edges of your feet with the outer edges of your mat. Make sure that your heels are in one line so that one foot isn't forward of the other. Take your hands to your hips. Press from your outer hips to your outer heels. Spread the toes and press them down. Now lift your chest and look up at the ceiling. Look up with your head, tip your head back. Even I've heard it instructed here that you hang your head back and extend your chest up. Keep this exact shape of your back, hinge at your hips, extend forward, take the hands down to the floor, and now you should be looking forward. So it's the exact same back shape. Look forward with the chest, and it's like you're trying to look forward with the nipples. So press the nipples forward, press the chest through the arms, look forward. Keep the knees straight, walk the hands back, take the head down to the floor or to a brick, but the head should land on something. Press the inner and outer elbows back as the head releases forward. Press the outer heels down, extend the chest through the legs. It's not that the chest is actually going to go back through the legs, but you're keeping your back flat. Keep lifting the back buttock up. Then walk the hands forward, lift the chest, look forward once again, back to the concave back, the upward facing version of the pose. Take the hands to the hips, inhale to come up, and then walk the feet back together. Just moving right along here. And our next pose is Shirshasana 1, supported headstand 1. I have quite a few sticky mats at home here, so I'm going to take a sticky mat, fold it twice to make a 4-layer sticky mat. And again, you have the option in headstand of practicing at the wall if you choose to. Place your mat either middle of the room. Make sure if you're at the middle of the room that you have about a mat's length worth of clearance in one direction so that you don't fall on anything. If you're practicing against the wall, your knuckles will be right up against the wall, and if you're right up against the wall, it's actually not totally up against the wall because you need some space for your buttocks when you're up in the pose. So it's a relative thing. If you have a really thick baseboard, your knuckles might go right up against the baseboard, or they might go about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch back of the baseboard. Press your wrists down, press your inner elbows down, interlace your fingers and prepare the base for headstand. I said the inner wrists a moment ago, I think. So you're actually pressing the outer wrists down, inner elbows down. Quickly double check that your elbows are shoulder distance apart. There's a decent chance for me that my little microphones might fall out of my ears during this, so I might not be in this for too long. But press the outer wrist down. Shoulder blades now, as you press the inner elbows down, move the shoulder blades toward the waist.
And then lift the knees like downward facing dog. Place the head, walk in, and then bend the knees and kick up. And now in the pose, make sure that you press your inner wrists down, or your outer wrists down, and turn your knuckles up toward the back of your head so that your knuckles aren't curling down toward the floor. You should feel that the sides of your hands are long on the floor and your knuckles roll up toward the ceiling so that they're not getting cradled underneath the rounded back of your head. Keep your inner elbows pressing down, your shoulders up. And now take the feet hip distance apart, just hip distance. Straighten your knees, turn your thighs in, and press your tailbone up. Keep the thighs turning in, tailbone pressing up. Join the feet back together. Relax the throat. Relax the face. Keep the tailbone active, middle buttock active. Reach the big toes up. Flex the outer edges of the feet toward the outer hips. So roll your metatarsals in. Keep the knees absolutely straight. Lock your knees. Turn your thighs in and lock your knees. With the locked knees, thighs rolling in, tailbone up. When you come down, go to Adho Mukha Virasana. So I'm going to instruct coming out at this point, you take one leg down at a time. Once you're down, you could certainly stay longer if you like, but once you're down, you take back onto the heels, you separate the knees hip distance apart, have the toes together, heels right under your buttocks. You may have to walk a little bit away from the wall to do this, but you extend your arms forward. And this is actually the next pose in our sequence as a formal pose. We usually teach Adho Mukha Virasana quickly after Shirshasana, so forward-facing hero pose after headstand is common. But we're actually going to take it as a longer pose today. So grab a bolster or a block. If you're confused about how I'm setting it up, you can take a look. I'm going to place a bolster in front of me. This is for my chest to rest on. I'm going to place a blanket on top of that bolster for my head. And I'm going to place another blanket, just a thin folded blanket, between my heels and my buttocks. And I'm going to walk my hands forward, and I keep my upper back moving forward. Keep my hands shoulder distance apart, a little bit wider actually than shoulder distance apart. And I walk the hands forward. And my effort is to keep my back flat and press my chest onto the bolster and rest my head. So Susan, if your bolster doesn't really support you too well here, like if it doesn't give you that firm sense of what you're pressing into, you could use a brick under your chest. So you might actually, another solution to this is to place one brick under the sternum bone and a slightly higher brick under the forehead. So it could be, or it's not actually a higher brick, it's the same setting, but the blanket goes on the other brick. So it's like this kind of two brick setup. Your butt has to stay supported. So that could mean that you're taking a blanket or a rolled towel or something like that between your hands or between your butt and your heels. Your arms remain active. So press your inner hands down, your thumb and your index finger down, turn the biceps up, and actively press the shoulder blades forward to press the chest down into the support and extend from the back of the neck and the base of the skull up toward the crown of the skull. This pose is often taught after headstand just as sort of a safety neck release pose. So if you think about how to release your neck here, make the neck longer by taking the shoulder blades away from the ears toward the waist, turn the biceps up, and then extend the crown of the head forward so your head doesn't slump down. You're not like smooshing your face into the bolster. Your head is actually relatively light on the bolster or the blanket or whatever's there, and you're extending the crown of the head away from the shoulder blades. You're not stretching the back of the neck too much either. It's more that you're seeking space between each cervical vertebrae. And then to release this pose, you'll walk your hands back closer to your knees. And come back up to being seated here in this knees wide version of Virasana. Then you'll take the bricks out from in front of you, or your bolster out from in front of you. The next pose is Chatuspadasana, four-footed pose. Flat is foot, so it's four-footed pose. And it's very similar to Setubandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose, but the hands, rather than holding the back, are holding the feet. So we're going to do this pose 2 to 3 times, and each time we're going to make it a little bit more, a little bit deeper each time. So start off this first time. You'll start off each time lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet close to your buttocks. The first time we're going to just hold the sticky mat. So put your arms along the sides of the body. Make sure that you are the same distance from the right and left side of the sticky mat. So I can tell I have to scoot a little bit to my right so that I'm right in the dead center of my mat. And I walk my feet. Take hold of the edges of your mat near your feet with your hands. Lift your hips just inches off the ground to start with, not all the way up yet. And now with your hips elevated, roll your shoulders underneath you. Roll over to the right side, lift your left shoulder up, pull the left shoulder toward the left foot, and then do the same with the right shoulder. And it almost feels like you're stepping your shoulders underneath you. And then to get your elbows straight, walk your hands a little bit closer on the mat, closer to your feet, your toe side of your feet, but keep holding the sticky mat. Keep the elbows straight, press the backs of the arms down, and take the middle buttock up, take the tailbone up, press the feet down, and lift the hips. Middle buttock up, tailbone up, feet down, press the balls of the feet and the toes down and away to help lift the hips. Expand your chest, lift your chest up toward the ceiling. And then exhale to come down. We're going to do the same pose one more time. This time walking the whole body a little bit closer to the feet. Lift the hips up. Get the shoulders underneath you more. Press the backs of the arms down. Lift the hips. As if someone grabbed you on the sides of the hips, like a side the pants and pulled you up. Press your hips up. You can get your hips an inch higher. Now come up high on the ball mounds of the feet. Lift your heels away from the ground. Lift the heels up. Lift the hips up with the heels up. Now press the backs of the arms down. Lift the chest. Keep the hips up in the exact position that they're at. Take the heels down. Turn your toes in. Press the feet down. Lift the hips up. Then bend the knees. Come down. Bend the knees deeply to come down. Now for the last time during the pose, we're going to hold the feet. This is the classical hand position of the pose. If this is too much on your lumbar, if you're already feeling it in your lumbar, your lower back, keep holding the edges of the mat. Or if you really want to simulate the holding your ankles, so I think I said holding your feet, but holding your ankles, if you really want that experience, you could wrap a strap around your legs, like you're holding a strap on either side of the ankles. So now hold on to your ankles, walk your upper body close to your legs, close to your feet, so that your knees are deeply bent. You have all four of your main fingers and your thumb pressed toward the index finger, so you're not wrapping your thumb around your Achilles tendon. You take the thumb with the index finger and you wrap the whole hand around the front ankle. Lift the hips a little bit, get the shoulders underneath you, and then press the heels down, lift the hips up. Now roll your thighs in, take your outer knees towards your inner knees, press your knees toward each other, roll the inner loins down and press the hips up. Lift the chest. And now bend the knees deeply to come down. Release the legs. Walk your feet a couple inches away from your body. Your knees will remain bent, but at approximately a 90-degree angle between the upper leg and the lower leg, so no strain in the knees, and just rest on your back for a moment. And then extend the right arm up overhead. Roll to the right side with the knees and the torso, and come up to sitting. So we are going to set up, chair pose, or rather chair shoulder stand.
Hey, Alex, can you hear me?
To make a 4-layered mat, I can. So
yeah, I do not have a chair that
This is
will
what I
work.
was thinking for you. So you could do the 4 blankets, and what I would say, do you have a belt, Sue?
Yeah. I don't have a chair
So
that
you'll
will
use
work.
belt.
Yeah.
So you're just going to do classic shoulder stand. And take your 4 blankets then. Chandler, you know how to set up chair shoulder stand. If you want to do classic shoulder stand, you certainly can. But if you take Susan, or for anyone for that matter, you can take your mat and you can fold your mat twice, and this 4-layered mat will give you some extra thickness if you don't have a lot of blankets. So this is sort of like headstand. This will go down on your mat. And then your 4 blankets will go on top of that. That's if your blankets are really, really thin. Like Susan's thin wool blankets. I have actually really thick Mexican blankets, so 4 blankets would be enough. I wouldn't need to pull this move with the sticky mat. So I'm going to just take 3 blankets plus the sticky mat. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you you have to make a little bit of a shelf here, a cliff that supports your cervical spine.
Which way does it go? The
And you would
cliff?
use a belt. Can you see mine? So it should be perpendicular to the ground, or it could be slightly back like that,
Okay.
but not, it shouldn't overhang. If it overhangs, then it's not actually going to support your head and your neck. So it should be either completely vertical or slightly what would that be? It's not an overhang. I think that would be called the slab climbing. So then you have your belt. You place your arms through your belt. That'll be about how wide the belt will go. Again, here in the sequence, what's taught is one is shoulder stand, one-footed shoulder stand, and then Parsva Halasana, or Halasana twist to the side. So if you're using the chair and doing chair shoulder stand, I'm going to instruct variations, and you're just going to ignore those variations because you're just going to stay in the chair shoulder stand for the whole duration. If you want to try the variations in normal shoulder stand, then by all means, I encourage you to do so. So I've got my belt. I'm going to place a bolster in front of my blanket pile. Now you can, of course, fold your sticky mat over if you have two sticky mats. That's kind of optional, though. It keeps the blankets from moving around, and it gives your elbows something to stick onto. It's optional. So I have my belt, looping the belt around the upper arm. I lay down onto an inch or so of space between your shoulder and the edge of the blanket, because that inch of space will vanish basically when you go over, or it will get occupied by your top shoulders, as it should when you kick your legs up and over into Halasana. Now I'm going to go to Halasana with my feet to the floor. You could take your feet to the wall if you know how to measure your distance using Dandasana, staff pose, which we do in class often. Or you could place your feet on a chair or on a small stool. So you have many options to support your Halasana if you are tight in the hamstrings or tight in the lower back. So you would kick the knees into the chest and swiftly bring the legs up and over to either the floor, the chair, or the wall. This would be the moment in Halasana to get your belt on. Now you get your shoulders underneath you, get your hands to your back close to the shoulders. So you want to have your knuckles of your hands, the metacarpals on the ribs, and then extend one leg and then the other up the shoulder stand. Okay, now you'll remain in the pose. On the video here, I'm going to come out of those. Take a look at who I have in front of me. When you come out, you'll slowly come out through Halasana.
Yeah, I can't get up.
So one of the solutions, if you can't get up, is to take two, like you have that pillow and that bolster. So you know how you've got a stack of blankets.
Yeah.
You can take the pillow and the bolster and put it like where your butt would sit in the beginning.
Yeah.
In front of the stack of blankets, so it gives you like a little bit of extra kind of ability to roll over. So you would support your buttocks, put both the pillow and the bolster there, and then roll over it.
Let's see. I managed to do it in the studio, but
That was some months ago.
not far enough. Yeah. Well. Here.
Chandler, did you go with chair, shoulder stand?
Too close.
No.
Okay, nice.
Last one.
Proud of you.
And then
So
so that's
extend the feet up, bring the feet together. Yep, keep extending the butt up, bring the legs together. Good. Did you make it up into Halasana, Susan?
No, I'm still, my feet were too close to the wall.
Okay.
This is gonna take a little doing.
Yeah, I can take a few measurements, which is why I think the wall is nice because it's really stable for Halasana, but going and kicking the legs up onto a chair or like an ottoman can be a lot easier because it's a little bit more forgiving. You have a wider
financial situation right now.
surface area for your feet to land on.
Megan Yingling.
Can you spell that? This is
Yingling,
important.
You don't.
Y-A-N-G-L-I-N-G, I think. She's an advancement Y.
I have a friend who's writing an article about partial tuition refunds. And
Oh, yeah, she's on the COVID-19 task force.
So at this point, go ahead and you'll be coming down out of Halasana or out through Halasana. And Susan, we can kind of work on it again next time, or you can give it another shot at home. It can be helpful to put more support under the buttocks. So if you're unclear what I was talking about, it would just be like, I think you probably got it. You would be you can use cross bolsters like this or several blankets or just extra height here to help you tip up and over into Halasana. So we're kind of skipping variations for today. And clear your mat of props because we're going to lie back into Shavasana. So set some support for your head, lie back. Rest the arms a comfortable distance away from the mold underneath. Release them. Press your heels down, lift your butt up, and scoot your butt towards your heels so that the flesh of the buttock is pulled out of the lower back. And rest. Rest the eyes, rest the facial features. With the eyes closed, just softly breathe and pay attention to breathing. Don't do anything with your breath, just observe it. Remove all effort from the process of breathing. Let your chest and your abdomen soften and fall downward. And begin to elongate your exhalations, not through effort, through almost like exaggerating how much your abdomen relaxes when you exhale. Follow the softness of the exhalation. Follow that softness into the abdomen and allow the exhalation to be prolonged and quiet. And then lightly extend the fingers and the toes. Bend up your knees one at a time. Extend the arm overhead, the right arm, as you turn the knees and the body to the right. Roll over to the right side. And come up to seated. Namaste. Peace be with us all. Om Shanti.